real talk, this Xtra Auto is the smallest camera that I've ever tested, and I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. Now, a lot of people are comparing this to DJI's Osmo Nano, and I understand why. But there are at least 3 reasons why I think this is a standout camera, and one of them would probably be a good reason for you to buy it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sponsored. I bought this with my own money, so this is just all based on my real-world experiences. And throughout this video, I'm going to be showing you clips that I've taken with the Xtra Auto. So first, the biggest selling point to me was obviously the size. Now, I think most people would be using this camera for their first-person POV shots, and that makes total sense because it's so light, whether you're clipping it on your hat or maybe on a backpack strap or whatever it may be, it's so light and small that you don't really notice that it's there. If I'm using my DJI Action 6, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, I notice it. But just because it's good for POV shots, that's really not the only thing that it's good for. Because it's so small, you could actually put this camera in just weird, awkward places that you normally wouldn't for other cameras. You could get a lot of different types of creative shots. If you're not even trying to be creative, but you just need a place to mount your camera, it's so small that it's easy to put it in places that you normally wouldn't be able to. Another plus is that this size of the camera is great for minimalists like me, because I don't like to travel with a whole bunch of stuff. Sometimes I just want to get up and go. I don't even want to bring my camera bag. This thing is so small, I could just really fit it in my pocket if I wanted to, but I usually have some kind of small sling bag and I could just throw it in there. And if you couldn't tell by now, the shape of this Xtra Auto is so similar to DJI's Osmo Nano. And that leads me to my next point. Now, if you're kind of liking the footage that you're seeing and you want to see everything that comes in the Xtra Auto box, as well as more sample footage, I actually have another video which I'll drop down below. DJI Ecosystem. The Xtra Auto fits in just perfectly with this because all the mounts with DJI's action cameras, almost all the accessories, they work with the Xtra Auto. To me, this is a huge plus for someone who has any kind of action camera with DJI's lineup. Me, I have the 4 and the 6, and it just slid in perfectly. Now, what's cool is that besides the mounts itself, this Xtra Auto actually connects with DJI's wireless mics. For example, right now, I'm actually using DJI's Mic Mini. Now, I don't think that when this first came out, I don't think I actually had the capability of connecting wirelessly to DJI's mics, but there was a firmware update that allowed these cameras to connect to DJI's mics. Now, to me, that is a super win because DJI has some great mics out there. The Mic Mini is one of my favorite ones just because it's so small, and I kind of like this Arctic White version because it just matches with Xtra Auto. Now, one thing that surprised me about this camera was how good the stabilization was. Now, there are 2 different main modes that you use. It's going to be Motion Master or Tilt Guard. I'm finding that in general, for most activities, most general vlogging, I'm using Motion Master. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of concerned about the stabilization for this camera because it was so small. I wasn't sure if it's gonna be really jittery considering that it might be moved a lot. Now, I know I've been gassing up this camera, but just like any other camera or any other device, there are always downsides or things that they could improve upon. I'll be making a video on that shortly, so stay tuned for that. So if this video helped you out at all, hit me with a thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. Catch you on the next one. Yeah, this thing is so small. If I really wanted to, I could just hold it in my hand, but I gotta ride with 2 hands, you know what I'm saying? It's like a slight overcast here. It's kind of sprinkling, but man, I gotta say, biking with this thing is actually really fun. It's super lightweight, super lightweight. I think that makes any activity easier with this. Wait, that didn't really make sense. I think capturing any activity is easier with this.